Now that LaMelo Ball is injured, the most exciting rookie is Aleksej Pokusevski. Yes, he is the youngest player ever with 20 plus points, 10 plus boards, and 5 plus threes in a game, but forget the stats. They take away from the awesomeness of just watching his game. If Nikola Jokic and Kevin Durant had a basketball baby, it would be named Poku. 7 feet tall with point guard skills. And what stat do we give his dancing? 10 out of 10. But is he for real? I'm sorry, Lauri Markkanen, but at first you were a future franchise player. Now the Bulls don't know what he is. Remember Jahlil Okafor making all-rookie first team? Turns out guys like that just look better than they are because they're on a bad team. Is that the case with Poku and the Thunder? This video explains if he'll be a bust or not. Yo, it's AM Hoops. I am Casey Kiernan. Hit subscribe if you like this video. A big thank you to 2 members, Globmod and Steven Zhu. First off, I hate the comparison some people make between Poku and Giannis. I mean, yeah, they're both super tall and can handle the basketball, but Giannis doesn't shoot like Alexi, and Poku doesn't defend like Giannis. The only comp is their journey. Giannis was a mid-first round pick, drafted out of Greece. Pokusevski also came up as a pro in Giannis's home country, but it wasn't easy. He is from Serbia and moved to Greece at just 13 years old. The problem was adjusting. Do you know how hard it must be for a 13-year-old to be taken from your house, your family, and your country and just put somewhere else to play basketball? But that's how they do it in Europe. If you are good enough at a really young age, you go to play for a team in their youth program. It would be like if the Lakers G League team was a bunch of 13-year-olds, not mediocre 20-somethings. So Poku got to Greece to follow his dream, and he wants to leave the entire first month. He's begging his dad to come home, but the tragic thing is his parents were getting separated. That home he knew in Serbia would never be the same again. Poku says there was a ton of emotional pain and he dealt with loneliness, but what saved him was basketball and his teammates. He made lifelong friends with other guys on that team, got a girlfriend, and now calls Greece his second home. On the court, he played against guys a few years older and kind of got his butt kicked. Poku is not one of those freaks that dominates a pro league at 17 years old like Luka Doncic. He is 7 feet tall and just 200 pounds. Dude is a twig getting pushed around. At 17, he graduated from the youth team to the pro team of Olympiacos. He became the youngest to ever play for that team at that level, and he scored 1 point with 2 rebounds. They assigned him to the second division in Greece instead, so before the NBA, Poku had never played against high-level competition. Despite that, the NBA still wanted him, and the Timberwolves selected him at 17th overall. Poku was traded just 3 days later in a 3-team deal that sent Ricky Rubio to Minnesota and Emmanuel Quickley to the Knicks. Obviously, the Thunder would take that chance. Who cares if he's a bust? They have like 36,000 other first-round picks. So, with no training camp, no summer league, and no experience against high-level players, 19-year-old Poku was dropped into the deep end. He was out there defending LeBron, knocking down 50% of his threes against the Lakers. He even played against Nikola Jokic, a basketball hero in his home country. The good part was Poku was confident as hell at that level. He took a ton of shots. The bad thing, he didn't really make many of them. Poku's first 17 games, he shot 18% from downtown, 25% overall. Oh great, Sam Presti, this is your 19-year-old Serbian unicorn? So they sent him to the G League, which helped tremendously. Poku got what normal rookies get in the preseason, a chance to warm up against lesser competition. In the G League bubble, Poku showed off what made him a mid-first rounder that OKC took a chance on. His shooting and passing are insane. His footwork is like mesmerizing for someone that tall. The Thunder G League team had a winning record with Poku. He scored double digits 5 of his 13 games, and he came back a different player. Poku showed so much in the bubble, OKC made him a starter when he came back. He has gone from 3 points a game to over 13, from 1 assist to 3, and from 18% from downtown to 37%. You can't help but wonder if he'll take over the league one day when he's hitting 7 3-pointers against the Hornets. Poku's defense has improved as well. Dude's arms are so long he can block shots and disrupt passing lanes even though he's so thin. I wasn't sure about Poku before the G League bubble, but since he's come back, I'm a believer. Poku will not be a bust in the NBA. As long as he doesn't get injured, I think the sky's the limit. There are 2 main reasons I love this kid. The first is that mindset he developed as a kid in Greece. Poku had to grow up fast, being dropped into a foreign country at 13. He learned hard work and patience. Those 2 things will be key to growth in the league. His first few years are going to be a roller coaster, but Poku is not afraid to work hard or too proud to play in the G League. That is a winner's mentality. Here's Poku explaining that value system.
I'm determined, but I'm not like, I have a patience, I'm not like, it's not happening now, it's not gonna happen never. I'm trying to prove myself, not just, by playing the best, but playing hard. And I want to prove that I want to be one of the best. So
the second reason I think he will not be a bust is the team that drafted him. The difference between some of those busts we talked about earlier and Poku is the Thunder are the most patient team in the NBA. Other promising players on bad teams get a ton of pressure to be great now. Well, the Thunder don't really care if Poku bricks 20 shots. They're all about the long game and development. No one knows what Sam Presti's gonna do with all these draft picks, but unless they trade them for some superstar like Karl Anthony Towns, Poku can take as long as he needs to develop. His biggest obstacle is gonna be defense, but I think the template there will be Kevin Durant. So much of what made KD great in Golden State was effort. If he got beat, he didn't give up. He's agile as a 7-footer, so switching onto smaller players is not a problem. Obviously, the length allows for blocks and steals. If Poku can add weight, which he will, his potential is scary. He'll succeed because of that winner's mentality from his upbringing and the perfect team to let him develop. The Feature Friday playlist has all of the stories and deep dives into NBA players that we've taken a look at. 2 weeks ago, we asked the question, what happened to Matthew Dellavedova? He's been dealing with a concussion issue and may have to retire. Check that one out and let me know what you think.